With early diagnosis and treatment, the chances for a cure are good. But what if your friend, the one you love, has a cancer we can't cure? The truth? The only hope is research.
The year was 1970, the dawn of a new era in cancer research, prevention, and treatment. The Gynecologic Oncology Group held its first meeting that year, comprised of a group of gynecologic surgeons who recognized the need for collaborative research in gynecologic malignancies. With the signing of the National Cancer Act of 1971 and the recognition of gynecologic oncology as a subspecialty 2 years later, the leaders of the GOG were charting new territory in clinical trials for gynecologic malignancies, sharing the results of this research, and improving outcomes for women impacted by gynecologic cancer. From the beginning, the GOG differed from other medical societies.
The GOG was unique at that point in time in that we were multidisciplinary. The other groups, medical oncology, etc., the RTOG, whereas we had medical oncologists, radiation therapists, we included pathologists, we included nursing.
Each GOG group chair left his mark on the Gynecologic Oncology Group, beginning with founding GOG member Dr. Miroslav Hareshishin, who led the GOG from 1970 until 1975.
Dr. Hareshishin has to be given credit for launching the ship. He was interested in chemotherapy long before most gynecologists.
Dr. Hareshishin's tenure as GOG chair was followed by that of Dr. George Lewis Jr., who led the organization for 14 years starting in 1975.
Dr. Lewis also established the idea that the Gynecologic Oncology Group operated on a more open principle than most of the cooperative groups. That is, anybody could turn in an idea for a study and get a fair hearing for that idea in the sessions of the group.
In 1980, John Kellner became the GOG Executive Director of Operations, which worked closely with the GOG Statistical and Data Center. The GOG continued to grow in size and stature during the 1980s. Dr. Robert Park succeeded Dr. Lewis as GOG Group Chair in 1989, as the GOG reached even more milestones in gynecologic cancer research through their clinical trials.
Dr. Park was at Walter Reed, had a military background, and he was a very strong leader.
Both Dr. Park and Dr. Desai, I would characterize them as having been trained in the Woody Hayes School. And by the Woody Hayes School, I mean if they gave you the ball, they expected you to hold on to the ball and run through the hole.
Dr. Philip Desai has been GOG Group Chair since 2002, as the organization prepares itself for changes on a national level.
And I have three words to describe this gentleman. Number one, mentor, and I told you, he is my mentor and I am eternally grateful for his mentorship. Two, scientist. Dr. Desai is a clear thinker and a brilliant clinical trialist. And three, leader. Knock down, drag out, the best pure leader in our specialty.
We would not be where we are today without Phil in terms of translational research. As I said, he's been a major supporter of that, major supporter of our tumor bank, and has been very creative in terms of finding funding sources.
The GOG Group Chairs have greatly expanded the existing body of knowledge in the diagnosis and treatment of women with gynecologic malignancies.
Over the years, the GOG has published really hundreds of papers in gynecologic oncology, and they've been very important for our readership. Papers with regards to quality of life, with regards to combined modality therapies.
Since 1970, the GOG has grown from 11 original member institutions to over 50 principal centers and more than 160 affiliate institutions. During that time, the organization has made significant contributions to the practice management of ovarian, endometrial, and cervical cancers. Of all the cancers affecting women, ovarian cancer is the 5th most life-threatening. The GOG played an important role in defining the current international standard of care for women with advanced ovarian cancer, resulting in an NCI clinical alert in 2006.
In ovarian cancer, the role of intraperitoneal chemotherapy has actually been known for a while, and the Gynecologic Oncology Group has completed now 3 randomized phase 3 trials addressing that question.
Endometrial cancer is the most common gynecologic malignancy. The GOG has conducted a number of clinical trials for endometrial cancer, developing an effective combination chemotherapy for advanced or recurrent endometrial carcinoma, and revising the surgical staging for this disease.
The GOG conducted one of the earliest studies evaluating the extent of spread of early endometrial cancer, occult spread metastasis. That was in GOG 33, which defined the likelihood of metastasis to lymph nodes and led to the change in staging by FIGO in the 1980s to include lymphadenectomy as part of the staging operation for endometrial cancer.
With Pap smear testing, cervical cancer is highly detectable and treatable, and the HPV vaccine makes this cancer preventable as well. The GOG continues to play an important role in the evolving treatment of choice for advanced or recurrent carcinoma of the cervix.
In cervix cancer, the contribution that comes to mind immediately is that the Gynecologic Oncology Group participated in all 4 of the clinical studies that showed that the combination of relatively low dose cisplatin with radiation led to improved outcomes in advanced cervical cancer.
For more than 40 years, the GOG has focused on the treatment of gynecologic cancer, and in recent years, prevention has begun to play an important role in cancer research.
Well, the GOG and the Cancer Prevention and Control Committee understands that we really don't have to tolerate having gynecologic cancers. In theory, we should be able to prevent almost all cervical cancers. We should be able to prevent most endometrial cancers. And now we're learning we probably can prevent most ovarian cancers.
The GOG's legacy of innovation continues to this day, thanks to the efforts of those who have led this organization through the years.
Our new partners, the RTOG and the NSAVP, I think are good partners. And they bring complementary resources to the table. I think the GOG is well poised to grow, to continue its mission of impacting malignancies in women, but it will be underneath a different organizational banner.
As part of a new cooperative group, NRG Oncology, the next generation of researchers will continue to focus on the prevention and treatment of cancer. On behalf of the millions of women whose lives have been positively impacted by members of the GOG, thank you. From clinical trial design to patient enrollment, data analysis, and journal publication, your work matters to your colleagues in the healthcare field and the women who are alive today because of the research of the GOG.
Congratulations to everybody for being participants and making GOG a significant research organization.